Good afternoon, students. How are you all? Fine. Okay. So, students, let's start with our today's session. Okay. So, are you interested for today's topic? Okay. So, today we are going to learn about the most interesting topic of this semester, and that is, as you see in this board, that is perimeter and area. Okay. So students, look at the following pictures. Here I draw the picture of playground of a cricket, and in the B, what I draw? I draw a picture of a classroom in the school. Okay. So students, you have to observe these diagrams and you have to choose what is the shapes of these two pictures. Can you have any idea about the pictures? Okay. So in the first picture, it is a playground of cricket. Okay. So the shape of the playground of the cricket is the rectangular. Here I written that the shape of the playground of the cricket is the rectangle. And what do you observe in the second picture? That is a square shape. The classroom shape in the school is having a square shape. Okay. So can you get idea about today's lecture? Okay. So today we are going to learn about the perimeter and area. We have to find the area of this square as well as perimeter of this square. And we have to also find the area of this playground as well as perimeter of this playground. Okay. So let's start with our today's session. So students, let's start with the definition of perimeter. Okay. So here I write down the perimeter. Okay. So students, perimeter means what? The length of boundary of any closed figure. Okay. So write down in your notebook that the length of boundary of any closed figure is called as a perimeter. It is very important for your examination. Okay. So please note down in your notebooks. What is perimeter? The length of boundary of any closed figure is called as a perimeter. So students, here I draw an rectangle. Okay. So this is a rectangle. And when we find the space between this rectangle is called as a area. So this space is called as a area. And when we find the boundary, this is the length of the boundary of this closed figure. This is the boundary of this closed figure is called as a perimeter of rectangle. Okay. So this is a perimeter and this is a area. Understood? Okay. So now we are defining the area. What is area? Okay. So here area means what? This is area. So the area means what? The space between the, write down in your notebook, the space between the closed figure. The space between the closed figure is called as a area of square or rectangle, whatever. Okay. So this is a definition of the area. Do you understood that the space between the closed figure is called as a area? Here you already see that the area between this diagram, the area between this rectangle, this is a space between this closed figure is called as a area. Okay, so understood this concept, what is area and what is perimeter. So now we are here solve some example on the basis of perimeter and area of square as well as rectangle. Okay, so first of all we are start the perimeter. Okay, so here we take an example. So students, here the playground of the cricket. This is a playground of the cricket, and we have to find out the perimeter of this rectangle or perimeter of this rectangular playground. Okay, so students, what we have to do, we have to find the perimeter of this rectangle. Okay, so this side is a 4 centimeter and this side is a 6 centimeter. Okay, so this side is called as a breadth and this side is called as a length. So the length of the playground is the 6 centimeter and breadth of the playground is a 4 centimeter. Okay, so we have to find out the perimeter of this rectangular. We have to find out the perimeter of this rectangular playground. Okay, so what we have to find? We have to find the perimeter. So first of all, what we have to do? We have to observe the shape of the playground or the thing which have to solve. Okay, so the shape of this playground is the rectangular. Okay, so we have the formula of the perimeter of the rectangle, and that is 2 into L plus B. So here L is denoted for the length and B is denoted for the breadth. Okay, so let's put the value of length and breadth in this example. Okay, so when we put the value of L into this, that is L is the 6 centimeter plus B means breadth is the 4 centimeter. Okay, so 6 plus 4 is the 10 into 2. So 2 into 10 is equal to 20 centimeter. So for the perimeter of the rectangle is denoted by a centimeter. So we get the value of the perimeter of this rectangular playground is the 20 centimeter. Understood, students? Okay, so let's move to the next topic. So now here we solve the example of the area of the square. One example we are solve of the rectangle. So now we are solve the example of the area of the square. So as you see in the that I draw a classroom in a square shape. Okay, so this is a classroom and which having a square shape. So we have to find the area of this classroom. Okay, so the space between this closed figure which having a square shape, so we have to find the area of this square, and the length of this classroom is 4 centimeter, and side B, this is a side A, side B is also having a 4 centimeter. Okay, so students, we have to find this area of the circle. So here side A is a 4 centimeter. What is the given? Side A is a 4 centimeter and side B is also 4 centimeter. Okay. So let's put the values into the formula. So what we have to do? We have to find the area of the square. We have the formula. We have to find the area of the square. And we have the formula side into side. Please check it that the area of the square is the side into side. So the formula of the area of the square is the side into side. So when we put the values in this equation, that is in this formula, what we get? Here side A is a 4 centimeter and side B is also 4 centimeter. So what we get? So we get 6. So students, let's do summarization for today's topic. Okay. So students, what we study today? We study about the definition of perimeter and area. Then we see the formula of square and rectangle of perimeter and area. Okay. Then we solve two examples on the basis of perimeter and area of the rectangular playground and the classroom, which is a square. Okay. This is all about today's lecture. So now write down the homework for tomorrow. Okay. So what is homework for today is you have to find the perimeter of rectangle. Here L is a 7 centimeter and B is the 4 centimeter. Okay. And you have to also define the following points such as area, perimeter. Okay. So this is all for today's. Okay. So if you have any doubt, please ask me. Thank you. Thank you so much. Done.